Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing an oil change on my 2014 Ford Escape Titanium with the 2-liter EcoBoost engine. So I'll show you through the process on that. First you will hit the hood release on the inside, and then if you pull the hood up a little bit, here's the actual release under the hood. You just prop it up with the prop rod here. I'm going to be using these Rhino ramps today to ramp it up on. Basically, just scoot it over, put it in front of the tire so it's nice and straight, and you do that to the same to the other side, and then you drive up on top of them. Now that we're up on the ramps here, I'm just going to wait for the engine to cool off a little bit more, and then we'll get started taking the panel off the bottom here. The oil I'm using today is going to be the Mobil 1 Synthetic 5W30. I'm going to use the Fram Ultra Synthetic XG3614 and the filter removal tool along with my creeper. So let's get started. As you're looking at the shield under the engine here, it's got, looks like 7 T30 Torx bolts that go up in it. It's going to be 4 across the front, and then if you go all the way to the back here, there's going to be 3 more of them. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the back ones first. That way the front will stay up, and then I'll pull out a little bit and drop the front ones out. Alright, so I got almost all the bolts out here. And if you look, I just kept one in here to hold it. But I found out that over on either side, there's this little Phillips head screw right over where the wheel's at. There's that little screw there, so you also got to take that out on either side and it should come free. Alright, so those 7 bolts and the 2 screws did the trick. The little cover is off. If you look up here, this is a great time to inspect and clean the bottom of your engine. And then we'll get on to the oil change part. The drain plug is right back here for the engine oil. It's going to be a 15 millimeter. And then right up at the front, right behind the radiator and in front of the engine, is the oil filter right there. So pretty easy to get to. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad under here. So I'm also going to take this out, hose it off, clean it up a little bit. There's some like mildew on the bottom of it I can clean off. Alright, so now it's time to take the oil out. I power washed the cover off out there and it's drying out, but get under here and try and get this oil out of here. See if I can get a good angle on it. Got the drain pan under it, got my 15 millimeter. Alright, so we got the plug loosened up finally. Change the angle a little bit here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unscrew it but hold pressure onto it. That way the oil doesn't come out until I want it to. And line up the drain pan as much as I can. And we're almost there. This is a really long drain plug. Oil is starting to drip out now. Then all you do is just let it come out. There we go. I'm gonna set it up here on this little drain plug area I got and wait for that to drain out. So while the oil is draining out of the drain plug, I'm gonna pull the drain pan over here and we're gonna take this filter off here. It's actually not too bad. Gonna have to get a rag, so I gotta set the camera down here. Again, try and hold pressure on it. so you can get it unscrewed. And there we go. And we just wait for it to drain out. Alright, so now that the oil's done draining, or slowed enough, I'm gonna put the drain plug back in here. Get that in there. Give the bottom of the engine a nice little wipe here to get the excess oil off. Take our ratchet, flip it to tighten. We're just gonna snug this thing down a little bit, not as tight as they had it before. That's plenty tight right there. And now we gotta prepare the filter. To prepare the filter, I'm gonna take this quart of oil here. Get the lid off. First thing I'm gonna do, flip the filter upside down in the box. I'll pour a little bit down in there just to fill it up. And then with this excess on the top, I'm gonna lubricate the O-ring. All right. Also, I forgot to mention about the O-ring. You want to make sure that the old filter has the O-ring on it and that it is not up there stuck to the engine. Sometimes you'll have that. I'm gonna take the new filter, go up here, screw that bad boy on now, and you'll snug it down to where it's just hand tight. And then you'll crank it a little more till it gets firm. I mean, you'll feel it. You don't have to crank these things super tight. One thing I always do after is I take a rag and I clean up all that excess oil because I don't want that on there. Just try and clean up anything extra. It's dripped on there so you won't smell it hitting the exhaust or any of the fucking turbo lines. And yeah. Now we'll move on to putting some oil in. So now we're gonna move on to putting the oil in. I have my 5-quart jug here. And this engine takes 5.7 quarts. So let's get the cap off here. Alright. And we got this funnel. It doesn't really fit in here the greatest, but we'll just start filling it up here. Good thing about 5W30 is it flows pretty fast. So we'll fill the engine up with that. Let that drain out for a while. Alright, so now we got 5 quarts in it, and I got this 1-quart jug here. As you guys saw, I put a little bit in the filter, and we're just gonna put a splash in here right now. And then I'm gonna lower it off of the little ramps that we have, and we'll check the level there. Well, I got a little ahead of myself there. I almost forgot to put the shield back up under here, so now that's what I'm doing, and then we'll back it off and check the fluid level. So now I'm gonna wait. We backed it off the ramps here, as you can see. I'm gonna wait for the engine to cool down a little bit just so all the oil flows down to the bottom so we get an accurate reading. And then I'm gonna check using the dipstick right there. So yeah, I'll bring you guys back here in a couple of minutes. So now that all the oil's settled down to the bottom of the engine, we're gonna pull the dipstick out and check and see exactly how full it is. This one's kind of tricky. It's the drain tube is down in there, but you can feel it and guide it in that way. Pull it back out here. And I don't know if you guys can see that on there. Probably not very well. But it looks like it's in the good range. So that concludes the oil change here. So like and subscribe and give the channel some support and some love. Don't forget to comment if this video helped you out at all. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.